Let's roll.
Triple threat.
Hi, how are you?
How are you? Everything good? My pleasure to meet you.
You're gonna learn a guy. Yeah. Oh, what's up? What's up? What's up?
Yeah, this is my first time meeting all three of them. So obviously people that I've seen on TV and admired, and now getting to work with them, I would definitely say my first impression is they're very funny and they make it easy to work with. Very fun too.
It's not like we're working. This is just fun and funny, and we just get to have a good time.
I'm way down the counter.
Watch that interaction closely. Caitlin Clark meeting Magic Johnson, Charles Barkley, and Samuel L. Jackson for the first time on a Capital One commercial set. What jumps out isn't the celebrity power in that room. It's her natural confidence. Zero nervous tension, no starstruck moments, just authentic comfort around three legends who've commanded spotlights since before her birth. This behind-the-scenes content from Capital One's March Madness campaign dropped this week, revealing something crucial about Caitlin Clark's current position in sports culture. When Magic Johnson declares that working with you felt like play, not work, that's not corporate pleasantries from a commercial shoot. That's an NBA icon who's constructed a business empire acknowledging someone who functions at his caliber.
Without a doubt, no one of the best things I've ever seen do off the court, and she's done plenty. Her personality shines through. Gosh, this is a big moment for Caitlin to be doing this commercial. And this is what I be telling y'all, bro. Whenever I say Caitlin Clark is unbothered with the CBA negotiations. Now, Caitlin Clark did go on record earlier during her Zoom call and speak about several things.
There's Charles Barkley. Notice his words. She's into it just as much as we're into it. You can poke fun at her. She gives it back. This chemistry matters because it demonstrates what the WNBA has pursued for decades. A player who can thrive in mainstream sports conversation without compromising authenticity. Consider what this commercial signifies. Capital One didn't slot Caitlin into WNBA targeted advertising. They featured her in their March Madness campaign, alongside Magic and Chuck, targeting the widest possible demographic. This isn't women's basketball marketing that includes NBA legends. This is basketball advertising, where Caitlin Clark earns her place beside sports history's biggest figures. Here's the significance. Caitlin's WNBA rookie campaign concluded 4 months back. She's been injured, recovering, avoiding public attention. Yet Capital One didn't wait for renewed proof. They paired her with Magic Johnson because her brand value transcends last season's achievements. Her marketability carries influence separate from recent performance.
Caitlin that just hit her. So yeah, so it looked like they're down in Miami, man. Let's see if Annie Costa will put out some more, man. I just think this is the coolest thing ever, man. Annie Costa said, I wrote a college paper defending the decision by LeBron James to leave Cleveland and sign with the Heat. Younger me would be so thrilled we're at the Heat facility today. Hey, man, I remember when he left, and that was just...
Now we're witnessing initial footage of Team USA basketball practice in Miami. This is where intrigue builds. While everyone's concentrated on CBA discussions and league conflicts, Caitlin's been training for something entirely different. Team USA's exhibition contests begin next week on TNT Sports. This roster represents intentional evolution in USA Basketball's women's basketball philosophy. Examine who's in that gymnasium. Caitlin Clark, Paige Buchers, Kelsey Plum, Sabrina Ionescu. This isn't conventional Team USA selection based purely on WNBA achievements. This is USA Basketball investing in star appeal and marketability alongside skill. They're constructing a squad that can generate ticket sales and capture ratings, not merely secure victories. That's direct reaction to last summer's events. When USA Basketball excluded Caitlin from Olympic selection, criticism was swift and persistent. Fans didn't simply disagree with choices. They questioned whether USA Basketball grasped women's basketball's evolution, whether they recognized the sport's expansion wasn't emerging from traditional sources anymore.
Man, any basketball content is always well in my eyes. Now, these are some of the comments Caitlin Clark said earlier.
I'll probably be a little bit nervous.
Let's listen.
Nothing will quite emulate this type of environment. So I think it'll probably take me a second to knock a little bit of the rust off. I'll probably be a little bit nervous, which I usually don't get nervous, but that probably just will come from, I haven't really played basketball in a while. So I'm sure like after the first minute of running around on the court, I'll be just fine.
Listen to Caitlin's framing. She's probably going to be a little nervous because she hasn't played basketball in a while. That's meaningful because Caitlin Clark doesn't experience nerves. She's the competitor who drained logo three-pointers in championship games, who entered the WNBA and instantly became the league's primary attraction while absorbing physical punishment nightly. Yet she's admitting vulnerability here. That resonates because it's truthful. She's been managing plantar fasciitis that impacted her entire rookie campaign. She attempted playing through it, performance declined, and now she's invested months rehabilitating to reach complete health. The sequence matters. Caitlyn's rookie season launched powerfully. She posted assist figures no rookie had ever reached, connecting three-pointers from ranges that transformed defensive strategies against her. Then injury struck. She continued playing because the fever required her, because the league needed her, because stepping away wasn't possible when carrying such responsibility. But competing injured meant efficiency dropped, shooting percentages fell, and suddenly the same voices celebrating her arrival began questioning sustainability, whether hype exceeded reality, whether she was actually as talented as claimed.
Anything, just really excited. I know how much work and how much time I've put in to make sure my body's as healthy as it can be, and to get back not only to a point where I feel like I'm myself, but I feel like I'm even better than, where I was at the beginning of last season. And I started off the season really well before I was hurt and tried to play through being hurt. So more than anything, just excited to be out there, be surrounded by a lot of really good players, and do whatever I can to help us.
Now she's stating she feels superior to where she was at last season's beginning. Not just healthy, superior. That's the aspect people must comprehend. Caitlin Clark's rookie year, even playing injured for half of it, resulted in becoming the first WNBA player to lead assists while finishing top 10 in scoring. She established the single-season assist record. She became the fastest player reaching 100 three-pointers. She accomplished all that while compromised. So when she claims being better than pre-injury, that's not athlete bravado. That's someone who spent 4 months addressing every weakness, every limitation, every game aspect not meeting her standards. This Team USA opportunity provides a platform to demonstrate it. These aren't WNBA contests where opponents have studied her for months and constructed defensive schemes specifically neutralizing her strengths. This is international basketball against teams that haven't witnessed her playing healthy. This is Caitlin Clark getting to reveal what she actually resembles at full capacity.
Basketball footage we done seen. Shout out to Annie Constable, the GOAT of giving us information and feeding the streets with content. Just dropped a 30-second clip of Caitlin Clark and the Gales getting ready to play. Let's roll it. Let me see if I can spot Caitlin. Caitlin on this side. I knew it.
Return to that commercial shoot momentarily, because there's a detail revealing how Caitlin operates. The footage displays her exchanging humor with Magic, Charles and Samuel L. Jackson. Comfortable, engaged, matching their energy. Magic specifically complimented her personality, said she made it feel like entertainment instead of obligation. That's identical dynamics that made her an Iowa phenomenon. Caitlin didn't just accumulate points. She connected with audiences because she remained genuinely herself. She displayed emotion. She talked trash. She celebrated significant moments without apologizing. That authenticity translated into something rare in women's basketball. A player casual observers actually wanted to watch. The WNBA has pursued mainstream relevance for 27 years. They've featured incredibly skilled players, championship dynasties, Olympic gold medalists, but they've struggled breaking through to audiences who don't already follow women's basketball. Caitlin altered that equation, not because she surpassed every previous player, but because her personality and style resonated beyond the sport's traditional audience. What this commercial demonstrates is that translation functioning at elite levels. Magic Johnson has decades in entertainment and business. Charles Barkley constructed a second career as sports media's biggest personalities. Samuel L. Jackson ranks among the most recognizable actors alive. All three treat Caitlin like an equal, not like a novelty or diversity consideration.
Such an iconic moment in basketball and in sports. The key line, I'm taking my talents to South Beach, dog, hit home for a lot of people, man. And shout out to her for sharing that here with us. I believe there's other reporters down there, but I don't think nobody gonna give us content like how Annie do it. Annie do it. And
now let's discuss what's occurring with Team USA, because this timing is intentional. These exhibition games are scheduled for next week, directly amid WNBA-CBA negotiations. While other players conduct press conferences about revenue sharing and collective bargaining, Caitlin's in Miami preparing for games airing on TNT Sports. That's not coincidental. And it's not Caitlin avoiding responsibility or refusing engagement with league issues. It's her recognizing that her platform and leverage derive from performance, not negotiations. She addressed CBA topics during her Zoom call earlier this season when timing and context were suitable. But she's not required to represent every WNBA labor discussion. Because here's the reality some people won't acknowledge. Caitlin Clark's value to women's basketball extends beyond the WNBA. She can compete internationally. She can secure endorsement agreements that dwarf league salaries. She can develop media careers that don't require additional professional games. Her leverage doesn't come from threatening WNBA boycotts. It comes from being someone the sport needs more than she needs the sport. That dynamic creates tension because the WNBA wants to utilize Caitlyn's star power driving revenue and negotiating superior media contracts. But they also want her being a team player who defers to veterans and avoids controversy. They want her generating ratings without acknowledging that her individual value might exceed what collective bargaining structures can accommodate. So while other players fight for bigger WNBA revenue portions, Caitlyn's expanding women's basketball career definitions. She's doing Capital One commercials with Magic Johnson. She's playing Team USA primetime exhibitions. She's building brands that exist independent of whether the WNBA solves its business model. Here's what makes this moment significant for Caitlin Clark's career trajectory. She's 4 months removed from a rookie season that simultaneously surpassed expectations and left people questioning sustainability. She managed an injury-affecting performance for half the season. She faced physical play bordering on targeting. She navigated media scrutiny no WNBA rookie had experienced. She did all this while carrying the burden of being positioned as women's professional basketball's savior. That's enormous pressure for a 22-year-old. The simple path would have been taking this off-season completely off. Rest, rehabilitate, avoid spotlights, return for WNBA Season 2 without additional pressure. Instead, she's doing commercial shoots with NBA legends and preparing for Team USA exhibitions that will restore national spotlight before WNBA season begins. That choice reveals how Caitlyn views her career. She's not attempting to be just a great WNBA player. She's trying to become a transcendent basketball figure. Someone operating at Magic and Larry Bird and Michael Jordan levels, where impact extends beyond sport into broader culture. That requires constantly placing yourself in high-pressure situations where failure is visible and consequences are real. The commercial with Magic Johnson isn't just income. It's Caitlyn positioning herself as someone belonging in conversations with basketball history's biggest names. Team USA exhibitions aren't just preparation games. They're Caitlyn proving her rookie season wasn't accidental, that playing injured masked her actual ability, that hype was justified. Here's the thing about that approach. It works until it doesn't. Magic Johnson could handle that pressure because he won championships immediately. Michael Jordan could handle it because he supported every claim with performance. But we've also witnessed transcendent talents crumble under that weight. We've seen players who were supposed to transform their sport become cautionary tales about hype exceeding reality. Caitlyn's gamble is that she's more like Magic than the cautionary tales. That her talent and work ethic and mental toughness can sustain performance levels required to justify the platform she's received. So far, evidence supports that gamble. She set records as a rookie while playing injured. She generated ratings exceeding anything the WNBA had witnessed. She proved women's basketball could create mainstream attention if the right player received the right platform. But this Team USA opportunity differs, because unlike the WNBA season where Caitlyn had entire off-seasons to prepare and knew exactly what she was entering, these exhibitions happen after 4 months away from competitive basketball. She's acknowledged she'll probably be nervous. She's acknowledged there will be rust. She's established realistic expectations instead of promising dominance. That honesty is refreshing, because the easy approach would be discussing how great she feels, how prepared she is, how excited she is to dominate. But Caitlyn's smart enough to know that managing expectations is part of managing careers at this level. If she emerges and struggles in these exhibitions, she's already explained why. If she emerges and dominates, she's exceeded her own predictions and the narrative becomes even stronger. Watch how media covers these Team USA games. Watch whether they focus on Caitlyn's performance or the broader roster. Watch whether USA Basketball positions this as a Caitlyn Clark showcase or balanced team effort, because that will reveal how they're thinking about building women's basketball's future. If they're smart, they'll let Caitlyn be Caitlyn. Let her shoot from logo range. Let her make passes that generate highlights. Let her show personality and emotion and all the elements that made her an Iowa phenomenon. Because trying to fit her into traditional systems, trying to make her just another piece instead of the centerpiece, that's what cost USA Basketball credibility when they excluded her from Olympic rosters. But if they try to manage her, try to limit her role, try to make this about team basketball instead of star power, they'll miss the opportunity. Because what Caitlyn Clark brings to women's basketball isn't just talent, it's the ability to make casual fans care. It's the ability to generate attention, extending beyond people who already follow the sport. It's the ability to make women's basketball feel like events instead of niche products. That's what the WNBA needs to determine as they negotiate their CBA and plan expansion and try building on last season's momentum. Do they structure their league around maximizing Caitlyn Clark's value, even if that means acknowledging she's more valuable than traditional salary structures can accommodate? Or do they try maintaining parity and collective bargaining principles, even if that means potentially losing their biggest star to international opportunities or early retirement? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Caitlin Clark doesn't need the WNBA as much as the WNBA needs Caitlin Clark. She can earn more money from endorsements than from playing. She can maintain her platform through social media and occasional exhibitions. She can build post-playing careers in media, or coaching, or business. The WNBA gave her a stage, but she's the one who turned that stage into something valuable. So as we watch these Team USA exhibitions next week, we're not just watching basketball games. We're watching women's professional basketball's future get negotiated in real time. We're watching whether Caitlin Clark can sustain the level that made her a phenomenon. We're watching whether USA Basketball learned from their Olympic roster mistake. We're watching whether the broader sports world is ready to treat women's basketball as something more than a novelty. Based on that commercial with Magic Johnson, based on how she's approaching this opportunity, based on the confidence she's showing, even while acknowledging nervousness, Caitlin Clark is ready for that moment. The question is whether everyone else is ready for what comes next. So here's what I want you to consider. If Caitlin emerges in these Team USA games and dominates, if she demonstrates that 4 months of rest and rehabilitation have made her even better than her record-breaking rookie season, what does that mean for the WNBA? Does it prove the league needs to build around her? Does it increase pressure on the Fever to surround her with talent? Does it change how other teams approach defending her? If she struggles, if the rust is real and nervousness affects performance, does that change the narrative? Does that give ammunition to people saying she was overhyped? Does that affect her endorsement value and mainstream appeal? Share your predictions in the comments. Tell me whether you think Caitlin's about to remind everyone why she's the biggest name in women's basketball, or whether 4 months away from competition will show in her performance. Because one way or another, next week will tell us plenty about where this story heads from here.